Drugs. When we first think of drugs, our mind goes to alcohol, marijuana, and other illegal substances. I'm here today to talk to you about the legalization of marijuana, which has become legal in quite a few states in America recently. There's a lot of controversy surrounding the topic, and there's also a lot of benefit. I'm here to talk to you about the benefits of the legalization of marijuana and the impact it can have on today's society. So, a recent poll by MSNBC actually shows that for the first time, Americans believe as a whole that marijuana should be legalized. Here's that poll. As you can see, the legal trends upwards and the illegal trends downwards. And that is a big step because we have viewed marijuana as a substance that can lead to others, a gateway substance, if you will. People have viewed marijuana as if you have marijuana once, the next thing you're going to do is try a stronger drug like cocaine or heroin, or rob a store and end up in jail because of the drug. I'm here to show you that marijuana can actually be very beneficial to today's society, and it offers a lot of things. And the first thing that it offers is tax revenue. They have accrued over $610 million from sales. About the state of Colorado is asking for roughly $100 million of that. $45 million of that is going to youth prevention programs. So when people say the legalization of marijuana is going to impact the youth and is going to turn our children into drug addicts, are mistaken, because it is viewed as something for adults, as is alcohol, as is tobacco. You have to be certain ages to buy certain things. Marijuana is no different. In the state of Colorado, you have to be 21 or over to purchase anything. Another $40 million of that, $100 million that the state is asking for, is going to substance abuse programs. So, while they are providing us with a substance, marijuana, they are also preventing the abuse of it. Because as we know, too much of anything is a bad thing. That is why they're trying to make sure we do this in moderation, as we do with everything else in our lives. Alcohol, too much alcohol, we can die. Too much tobacco, cancer. Name it, mouth, lung, bladder, anything. So marijuana is viewed as no different. They want to make sure that it is used properly and by the right people. And another $12 million of that $100 million is going towards public health programs that they will put in the schools. Speaking of schools, there's a program called Better Educational Schools Today in Colorado. And the first year that marijuana was legalized, the tax revenue from marijuana donated over $1 million to schools to increase to renew their books, to give them better computers, to give them anything they need to rebuild the schools to properly educate our youth. And as we know in today's society, the American school system is failing. It is not doing very well, and we need all the help we can get. So in 2015, which is this year, they're expected to donate over $10 million to the renewal of schools, whether it's an add-on to the school or if it's a remodeling. So the money that is spent towards marijuana, while it is a legal drug, is also being spent to help people. Our children are getting assistance from this, and $10 million to schools to remodel and rebuild is a lot of money. Whatever source it comes from, whether it's the legalization of marijuana or anything else, it's a good thing. And if there's one thing that we as people should understand, is that as long as the ends justify the means, it can be good. So just because we're legalizing a drug that has been illegal in this country for years, it doesn't mean it's a bad thing. We're helping our children get tutoring. We're helping them get new computers. We're updating the school systems. We're adding nurses and public health officials into the schools to prevent the youth from being addicted to this substance, or any substance for that matter. This is all coming from the legalization of marijuana. There's also the states saving money, which can also be used towards school, rebuilding of roads, rebuilding of bridges, anything. Because currently we spend as a nation over $7.7 billion on the prohibition of weed. So if we simply make it legal in all states, all that $7.7 billion we spend can be used elsewhere. It can be used to substance abuse programs. It can be used for, again, to renew our school system, repave our roads. It can be used for plenty of good things instead of trying to make a substance illegal. Also, if the states decide to tax marijuana as they do alcohol and tobacco, for example, they can get another $6 billion in just taxes from the legalization of marijuana. So that's over $13.7 billion that can be added to the federal, states spending however they please, wherever they see it most necessary. And again, is legalizing a drug that big of a deal that we would prevent ourselves from not only saving money, but becoming better as a society and increasing our youth's knowledge on drugs and use and addiction, and also showing them that while everything in moderation can be good, that if you use something for the right reason, for example the legalization of marijuana, it can be used to help thousands upon millions even of people. Another thing is that we often think that the legalization of drugs is going to lead to an increase in crime, that people are going to act out more, that people are going to commit more violent crimes such as sexual assault, regular assault, anything of that matter. But in Colorado, they're actually finding that that trends the opposite way. Since the legalization of marijuana, there has been a decrease in violent crimes of 6.9% within the start of the legalization of marijuana until now. And there's also been a decrease in property crimes, such as arson, property theft, grand theft auto, of a decrease of 11.1%. So not only are we making money, saving money, helping our youth with the legalization of marijuana, crime is also falling. So I personally fail to see the downside to the legalization of marijuana. Hopefully you all see it the same way that I do. We can save money, we can help our youth, we can rebuild our roads, our bridges, our schools, anything we need through all the tax revenue we get from the legalization of marijuana, and maybe any other drug that we decide to legalize later on, whether it's heroin or crack or cocaine. These do sound like touchy subjects due to the nature of the drugs, but if we can legalize marijuana and make money and help our nation become better and stronger by using the legalization to increase our youth, their knowledge, their schools, their opportunities, then what's to stop us from using any other drugs to do the exact same thing? And also while providing substance abuse program and addiction health for anybody who needs it. And all of it is funded by the legalizing of the drug. So we should not fear change, we should embrace it. Thank you.